smartphone devices is changing the nature of human technology relations. These changes are in turn having a major impact on the nature of human behaviour and the ways in which governments, defence and intelligence services understand, predict and transform collective and individual action. These issues are particularly important to the field of cybersecurity, where we see growing interest in the role that human factors play in shaping the likelihood of hacks and other security breaches. Recent surveys show that human error, from the sharing of passwords to clicking of unsafe web links, accounts for 24% of cybersecurity incidents, secondly only to phishing or malware attacks at 31%. Understanding how human factors shape and are being shaped by new technical interfaces is therefore vitally important in attempting to mitigate the potential for serious cybersecurity incidents. What distinguishes our research in cultural geography at UNSW Canberra is the attempt to develop new conceptual and methodological approaches to the human-technology interface. The study of human factors has traditionally centred on scientific and engineering questions that remain wedded to quite outdated assumptions around human subjectivity and its relationship to technology. One way our research explores the evolving human-machine interface is through the conceptual lens of habit. Our argument here is that technologies really matter when they no longer seem to matter at all. That is, when they move from the new to the habitual, becoming an almost seamless part of our everyday lives, such that we barely notice them anymore. Understanding how to channel the unconscious dynamics of habit is an increasingly important factor in the design and implementation of technical interfaces across a range of domains. Social media platforms like Facebook have been leaders in this area for some time. Utilising the latest neuro and behavioural science, their interfaces contain a whole series of cues and nudges, sounds, push notifications, that automatically trigger the user to check their phone, providing us then with a little reward, an enjoyable hit of dopamine when we see our friends liking our photos. Cue, routine, reward. This is what the author Charles Duhigg calls a habit loop, and it is the means by which companies get us hooked on using their apps and services. While studies of technological habits often focus on questions of addiction and dependency, our research goes further by exploring how habits might also be a force for the generation of more positive and productive behaviours. This is an important issue for cybersecurity professionals and teams, whose work is commonly centred on how to instil habits and behaviours of cyber hygiene in their workforce or end users. What our cultural geography research contributes to this exciting area is an understanding of the profoundly collective nature of habit formation. Habit is more than a matter of individual psychology or personality. It demands that we take seriously how things like the material design of our technical interfaces, the symbolic cues and reinforcements of our social relations, and even the various objects and distractions in the space we work in can either enable or constrain the creation of safe and secure online habits.
I suppose we have our speaker of the session here in the meeting, right, Colonel Sunil Kapila? You can unmute yourself.
I have.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Good afternoon, everyone, respected teachers, participants, and esteemed speaker, retired Colonel Sunil Kapila. With all warm regards, we welcome you to the second event under the Cyber Security League program organized by the Department of Computer Science, Maitreyi College. Our esteemed speaker is here to throw light on the topic cybersecurity word and human dimensions. Our speaker, retired Colonel Sunil Kapila, an experienced cybersecurity privacy trainer, national cybersecurity expert, and chief technology officer at Ethnian Tech. For the last 1 year, delivering high-value training and capacity building sessions on dark web monitoring, cybersecurity, machine learning, privacy and data protection, audits and implementations. He brings a unique flavor to give training with illustrations demonstrations, and a hands-on approach leveraging his techno-operational background technology solution, architectural experience with DRDO, Wipro Technologies, and Tata Advanced Systems to great effect. Before we move further, we have some do's and don'ts for you for smooth conduction of the webinar. We request you to not turn on your mics until you ask to do so. Question and answer sessions will be conducted at the end, and we will try to resolve all your queries. With this, let's begin with the session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Vanshika. It's indeed a great pleasure to be addressing the august, young, bright future of India, the lady future. And it will be my endeavor to give you the human dimension of the cybersecurity, what is happening, and where are we headed, and what you, as a bright young students, could make it a very meaningful profession going forward. I believe many of you would be part of your science curriculum, right? And many times people feel that, getting into the engineering aspects of cybersecurity must be a very tall order. But if you have logic, if you have little perseverance, and if you
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. So your camera is off.
Oh, my camera is off. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I am very sorry. Yeah. Okay. Is it better now? So I am going to be. Are you able to see my presentation? No. Hello. My camera
Yes,
is on
sir.
now.
Yes, sir. Your camera is perfectly fine now. I think some.
I have to share my screen, right?
Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
there is some problem with the voice. People are saying the voice is not clear. So maybe if you can come near to mic,
Of
it will
course.
be better.
I will do that. Just a moment.
Thank you so much, sir.
Are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir. Perfectly fine, sir.
Okay. All right. And is the voice better now? I am a military guy, so I can amplify my voice to quite a degree.
Yeah, it's better.
All right. So first of all, thank you very much for having given me this occasion to interact with you all. And we are living in times where, unfortunately, it's not a one-on-one, face-to-face classroom session or conference room session. It is virtual. Nevertheless, technology enabled us to get connected in very many possible ways. And in your pre-recorded video, we saw that the human interface, HCI interface, has got so many dimensions, and we saw some of them. Right. So I'm also going to cover the human dimension of some other aspects about what we are doing more close to India as far as cybersecurity is concerned. But before we do that, I want to, I'm very sure you're already inspired. I want to inspire you to know why you should take cybersecurity as a great vocation or profession, if I may say. All right. This is what I am. A little bit about myself. So I've been introduced, but I'm very proud of the fact that I was an ex-military guy from National Defense Academy, where I entered as a 17-year-old boy and came out a leader of men. I spent about 26 years in the Indian Army. Apart from fighting the Kargil operation as a lieutenant colonel, I also did a lot of exotic technology work in field of electronic warfare and command and control systems. And as the journey of learning always continues, I have been for the last 3 or 4 years been working in from the physical domain to the information and cognitive domain. And that is what covers the whole gambit of cybersecurity. Okay? All right, so that's a little bit about myself. I'm a very hands-on guy and I love thinking with machines because I believe machines are easier to handle than human beings. Okay? Some of you may not agree with me, but that's what I believe in. Okay, so that is why we're going to talk about the human challenge, the human factor in cybersecurity. All right. Are you able to see my screen? Okay, let us start with a little story. You know, it's always good to start with the story of human endeavor because we are talking about human interface to this revolution of cybersecurity, right? You see a machine working on its own, a lot of rotors, a lot of plugs, and a lot of dials on it. Do you know what this is?
Excuse me, sir.
Are you able to hear me?
So sorry to interrupt you, sir, but your voice isn't clear.
Okay. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to hear me clearly?
Sir, there is a lot of echo. Sorry to interrupt you, but there is a lot of echo in the voice.
What? Just a moment. I'll see if I can.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Is it the room? Is it the room? Maybe switch out. Echo is coming. Voice is not clear. Just give me a minute. Should I go there? Are you coming in? Okay. Is it better now? Maybe I'll get rid of my phone which is lying around. Yeah, it's not there. There should not be an echo now. Is it better? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it better now?
Yes, sir. It is better now.
Is it better now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It's better than the previous one.
All right. I'll speak deliberately, slowly, and thank you for interrupting me. So I had asked a small question. You've seen in front of you a kind of a mechanical device, and I'm asking you, and I've given you a clue. Does anybody know what this device is? What the name of this device is? And I've given you a clue. Based on this device, a very famous Hollywood blockbuster was filmed, which some of you might have seen. Any idea? Did anybody watch the Intimation Game? No.
So is it a Enigma machine?
It is what machine?
Enigma machine.
Yes. Who is that? Thank you very much. I think many of you have been tried to run. Yes, it's not Terminator, it is the Enigma machine. This is coming from Harsh Mishra, right? All right. So do you know the story, a wonderful story of human endeavor of Enigma machine? That started off as a birth. It was named, code name Enigma. It was uncrackable, so to believe by the German army in the Second World War that this famous machine code cannot be broken. And it was used by the German Navy and the submarine, the U-tubes they call it, and they create havoc for the Allies. Okay? So this is the story of Enigma. Just see a mechanical teleprinter kind of a typewriter kind of a machine with so many rotary wires plugged in. And this is what was the most uncrackable machines with their command and the military used during the Second World War. Okay, let's see. Here is a little demonstration of it. I thought it might tell you. See, you have 3 rotors which are called 1, 2, 3. And these are some of the plug boards, and the rotors have got indicators, and presently you can see A is marked. And if I enter anything here, Unfortunately, I'm in a screen display mode, so I can't enter anything. But if I enter any input, it would have outputted and sent out on the line the encrypted version. And this is the encrypted version messages of military messages were passed by the German military navy while the Second World War was on. And it was a big headache for the Allied forces to be able to crack this machine, the code, right? Okay. So if you see, if I do a random check, just a moment, it's not running because it is, maybe I can show up. Yeah. Maybe I can show you this. Right. Here, see, if I enter a code here, are you able to see? Normandy landing. Okay. And you get instantly, it has given me an encrypted output. And you see the wires going? You see the wires going, how they are connecting, the rotors move into new position, take the new position, rewire back, and it goes out through the other side, and then it is received. So this is how the setting happens. And the same way, when you do want to do a decryption, you can write an encrypted string and you get the decrypted out on the other end. So this was a simulated version of a old Second World War, very powerful. You can say one of the first earlier computers to be built in the service of cryptography, right? Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
So the simulation is not visible to the participants.
Okay, maybe I have to share that screen a bit. Just a moment.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There is new share. Okay. Enigma. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you see, this is now a running simulation. So I initially do a reset. So I set it at A, rotor 1, rotor 2, rotor 3, and these are the plug boards. And if I enter here, Normandy landing. Anyone knows when was the Normandy landing? '06 October. And see, I instantly get the output. So actually what's going on is an encrypted thing. So, and this was 1940s, remember. You know, these are the kind of machines we built because we didn't have the modern day electronic based computing. We had to build computing through electronics, mechanical, gears, switches, wiring, and cabling. And still, such a complex piece of engineering was done by the German military. And for many years, it gave a lot of headache to the Allied forces. They could not read the messages and understand how the German army was so effectively making communication and messages to the YouTubes. And they were creating a lot of havoc for the Allied forces. So if I reset, see, it has reset. So if I enter the same stuff again, this time I will get, because this key setting is equivalent to a key set. So I'm taking the key and it is, you know, giving a different output, and that's what goes. So this was a kind of enigma. If you see this, right, these rotors will move into position, connect the cables, and the cables will have so many permutation and combinations that it was impossible, humanly, mathematically impossible to break 2 into 256 to the power 16 combinations of the key rotor key switches. And that is why it was such a big headache. All right, so going back to why am I showing you all this? Because it fascinates me. It's because it sets the basis of human endeavor. So I thought, right? And then this is not half the story. And if you have read the movie and read the book called The Code Breakers, Codename Enigma is a fantastic book. Any of you who want to read military history should read that book by David Kahan, right? And then you must have heard of a name called Alan Turing. Alan Turing is to computer science like a Nobel laureate is for the other sciences. The father of computer science is considered Alan Turing, and he was one of the key figures who break the code of Enigma, sitting in Bletchley Park during the Second World War, which is now housing the Code and Cyber School of the British GHQ. Okay, and a lot of other scientists, Berkeley Park. Read this book. I've given you a link. Alan Turing is fantastic work of cryptology. Very exciting story as to how the wars were won and how the military technology helped the human endeavor to improve. And finally, it was a mathematical brain of Alan Turing and his team that they were able to unravel the mystery and the connections of the Enigma and broke the code. And after that, for 2 years, after that, the story goes, the 2 years, the Allied forces were eavesdropping into all the secret communication of the German army, and they exactly knew what was being planned. And that is what started reversing the tide of the battle. Because they exactly knew what was being planned, where the YouTubes were moving, what the orders were, and they didn't let, and the Germans didn't know till the time they realized that a lot of the YouTubes were being lost in the battle because people were able to read to the secret communication. So that was the human story I thought I'll begin with. So why all this? Why cryptology? Why cryptography? Because foundationally, security is built on the foundation of cryptography. What does cryptography give us? Cryptography gives us a foundation for encryption, for integrity maintenance, and third, availability. So all these three big articles, tenets of cryptology, of computer science, which is called CIA triad, is based on foundation cryptographic algorithms. Right? I don't want to get into more technical details, but I just wanted to give you as to what human endeavor can do. Coming back a little bit to after this story, I'll tell you a few more stories where young, bright ladies like you in the Second World War also played a very big role in building up computer science and code breaking. This time it did not happen in the UK, that happened in the United States, across the Atlantic. And that code name was called Codename Purple. And there was a lady cryptologist who actually, and 23 other girls, which were called the Code Girls, who did the fantastic job during the Second World War for the US. Okay. So you all know some statistics here for us to know as to why we are talking this, why the human endeavor is so much important, because that is the penetration of the digital footprint we had till the last year. You know, so many Aadhaar cards. We are one of the most densely populated usage of ICT technologies, so to say. 1.1 billion mobile connections, you know, all the figures are there in front of you. And most of you who are digitally natives, you know, you are in the age where you are digital natives. All of you are born with the digital technology around you, and you would have used them very comfortably, I'm very sure. So this is how the growth rate is going. If it was 1.17 billion, it's now 1.4 billion.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gone again?
No, sir. We are seeing actually the simulation screen. The slides are not visible to us.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I should have changed because that was a separate program running. Now I have to go back to the PowerPoint, right? Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much, Vanchika. I wouldn't have been able to manage without you. Okay. So here is the traffic, digital footprint and future ahead. Day by day, it's increasing. Penetration cannot be stopped. So as even enabled users, we are confronted and surrounded by a digital world, a cyber world. When I say digital, it means a cyber world, right? We are making payments, we are making communications through them, we are keeping our friends, we are learning through this technology as we speak, and as you interact with your friends, families, and whosoever, right? So where is God taking us, right? This is the kind of a demographic. The idea was the human factor. We are 1.3 plus billion people, and this is the statistics I put together for you to know why the human question, the human factor is the central important theme of this revolution, this growth, because we are such a large market, and this gives a breakdown of the affluent versus the aspirant. The next billion will be so much, and there are old people who were on the previous generation who are still struggling to coping up with this technology. As you know, some of our grandfathers, grandmothers, they are barely beginning to touch some of this technology which you were born with, because you are native to this technology. But that generation, even my generation, had to learn and struggle and get hold of it. And that's a tall order. A lot of learning happens. It doesn't come natural who are used to working in a different way. So in terms of spending, I don't want to give you the statistics. Some of you who are interested in that can go through it. So why is it so important? And if so much of action is happening around us, you as science graduates from elite sitting in the capital of India, the heart of where the digital revolution is unfolding, cannot remain just plain remote users for it. You must make it a point to become more enabled, and you're a very important factor for handling this technology, not only as a user, but to make sure that we are using it very safely. Because two sides of the coin, anything which comes, it always has the downside of it. We'll soon cover what the downside is. First, we understand the impact of what we are doing. We are getting into information highways. We're getting access 24/7, 365 a day. We are virtually always online. Manufacturing processes, IIoT 4.0 industrial revolution is taking place. You know what IoT is. It is making waves. A lot of initiatives are happening, and our industries are getting automated so that production increases, reliance on manpower goes down, and sometimes wrongly so, it gives concern to some of us that we are going to lose our jobs to this automation, this artificial intelligence, and stuff like that. That's really not true. What it changes is, it changes the human approach to it. The human success factor has changed. So we have to be seized with it. We cannot, whether we like it or not, ignore this technology around us. So some aspect of it we must acquire to have a future, not only for future professional life. You may be a biologist, you may be a neuroscientist, you may be a botanist, but you cannot keep away from ICT technologies for very long. We all know that. All revolutions, all analysis, all genome testing, and all that stuff is using excessive use of simulations, visualization, and stuff like that, right? So this is the kind of digital finance payments we have. We have inclusive society is increasing, because now even in the remotest of village, and to a guy who comes, a hawker who comes to our door to sell us vegetables is also using a mobile payment thing, cashless transactions and stuff like that. So if all that is happening, this is what we call digifying India. So we are going on in a very aggressive pace. So what is the important thing if we are moving into digitalization in such a way? What do you think has to keep pace with it? Obviously, security. Just because we are adapting a new technology, we cannot expose ourselves to the new dangers. And dangers are really real, as you all know, right? Okay. So these are some more, just to give you a plan of it, the UIDI card, the smart city initiative, and things like that. It is really transforming business, transforming our lives, and the life is not no more. In my own lifetime, I've seen my childhood in a small sleepy town of Dehradun, where I come from, has to confront and live with this fast-paced life where we are always digitally connected, right? So what is that? What is the most important thing from a human factor point of view? As users, we have to be very secure. So we have to learn not only how to use this computer effectively to get more productive, to get more this thing, but we have to use it very more safely. What is the problem? We have driven so far, security has not kept pace with the technology growth because security was an afterthought. Security has been an afterthought. We built up an internet which was actually not secure. Then we built algorithm layers, protocols to make it secure. But when in 1969, the university in the US conceptualized ARPANET, which is the father of internet, they did not visualize it to become such a national information highway. It was, as we all know, supposed to be an interactive forum between 3 or 4 universities. They wanted to knowledge sharing and network is what they had thought they would build. And it spun this massive information highway, and it really changes our life. And we are now living more in a simulated virtual world. Sometimes I think after some time we stay in the virtual world so much that we will start losing touch with the physical world itself. Though that is not a very desirable thing. So this is only the surface of the internet, And if I were to take the internet, the next one, this is the real internet. This is the dark side. You might have all heard. So we are just, when I earlier was talking, we were talking about the surface web. That is what is visible to you. What is surface web? To give you in the layman's language, it is a network and indexing engine of information which can take our websites or information and index them so that we can search information at the tip of our fingers. The search engine, there are many of them, but Google search engine, because of the fact that we do Googling, it has become so ubiquitous. Everybody knows how to Google. So what you are actually doing when you're Googling is you're using the search engine, and it's going and drawing and picking out information for you at the snap of a button. Be it a mobile phone, be it iPad, be it a network, right? We know all that. You've all gone through a 1 meal capsule thing. I'm sure you would have touched on the essentials of interneting and cybersecurity. So just 4%, I'm sorry, you can't read the figure. It's only 4% is what you're actually dealing with. And that itself is so huge. And what is this deep web? What is the dark web? Anyone can answer? Hands up. I can pause and see if anybody knows what dark web is. Yeah. Yeah, Pushpinder. What is dark web?
Sir, dark web. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, dark web is a phase of internet in which some types of illegal and some types of harmful works are done.
Yeah, but that is just the
That
manifestation.
runs on onion. That runs on onion domains.
Okay, good. I'm glad you know a few of the things. Okay, but yeah, that's correct. Answer is correct, partially correct, I would say. When you say darknet, what do you think is the difference between there also you use a browser, here also you use a browser? What then is
Yes,
the difference?
sir.
The difference? Yeah, what is the difference?
There we use almost Tor browser and Tor connectivity for accessing the dark web.
Yes. Why do you use that? I tell you the reason. Because the surface net is built on a search engine. The website and the information infrastructure which you build in the deep web and the dark web are not searchable. You cannot Google these and you get these figures. They're not visible to the search engines, whichever one you may use. Because it is based on a network of peer-to-peer, which the word you use, one example of that was the onion router network. That is called peer-to-peer. There is no central server, there is no central databases, it is peer-to-peer. That means, as we speak, if I am a member of the dark web, and if I have configured my computer, it can participate and be one of the nodes of the dark web. That means the information which flows from one world of the other to the other, my little node, my little server, my computer is also partaking in that, right? It is working as a router. It is something what we call peer-to-peer network. So the foundation stone of a dark web and dark web is one, it is not searchable. That means, you know how searching happens? Inverse indexing is done and page rank algorithm is done, which was done by the founders of Google. You know, it is their patent, and that is why Google is the leader in search
Excuse me,
engines.
sir.
Yeah.
So we can't hear you properly. There is an echo in your voice.
Okay. Is it better now? Okay. Maybe I'll walk closer to the mic, right? So what I was saying, I'll repeat again. The difference, technically speaking, in surface and deep web is as follows. Surface web, the information is indexed by search engines. That means whatever website, databases, whatever information is available on the internet is indexed by the search engines of Google. It crawls, it indexes, and it builds very large caches of it in the search engines. And that is why whenever next time or whenever you are searching similar information, it knows where you have to go, what you're looking for, and it instantly give you the relevant site which you're looking at or relevant information which you are searching when you give in the search bar, right? Because the technology is based on indexing. Indexing, you understand? All the databases, all the information is indexed, and so it is like through that index, you can immediately go to all related information on number of sources of information. So with that index, it is able to bring together crawl, what is called crawling, and it gives you the output in your search engine screen. Now this is not possible the way dark web internet works. First of all, it works on a peer-to-peer network. What is a peer-to-peer network? It sits on the same network, same internet, but there is an overlay layer where each endpoint, that means if I am using the network, or if you are using the network, you are online, you are an endpoint of the internet, is it not? Right? So if you take part and become part of the dark net, there is a method of doing that, right? The uninformed, accidentally, you should not go to the dark web, and I tell you the reasons why, without having full control of what you're doing. Because, so we become part of the dark web through a router, a special algorithm called the onion routing. And what is that onion routing? The foundation of onion routing is encryption, layers and layers of encryption. For example, if I was having a one direct connection and doing a communication node to, let's say, node A, which is any of you, let's say, and if I want to secure my information, I will be encrypting it. What does that mean? I will use the key that you saw. I will put my payload into the key, encrypt it, and then send it across the internet, which is plain. And then it reaches your site. You will decrypt it because you have the key, the following key, and you will get the information thing. Very high level. This is what encryption, which we saw that, right? In an old-fashioned thing. So same cryptology algorithm, similar algorithms are used to handle the internet. The core of the darknet is, the safety of the internet is to give you encryption layers. So what happens is, from my pipe, my tunnel from point B to point A is encrypted. Then you hop on to another peer-to-peer network somewhere in the internet randomly, which the algorithm decides, you cannot determine it, and it goes there. Hello. That tunnel is also encrypted, and like that, multiple encryption tunnels are built up, and your dark tunnel, your encrypted tunnel communication is what do you call is configured, right? I'll just maybe give you a small example. Once we understand this concept, maybe we'll switch out to a simulation and show you how this is done, right? Okay. So without getting into too much technology, I wanted to tell you, one, the darknet is peer-to-peer. It does not have a server, central server anyway. The algorithms are very distributed, and these algorithms and this system of Tor network was started by US Navy, NASA, and the FBI. Essentially, this is a network which gives you, what is the benefit of this network with such deep encryption? It gives you secrecy and it gives you privacy. That means if I am using the darknet, I can hide my identity. Nobody knows that it is me behind the machine. It will be some number which is called an onion, a long string hash number, which is behind that. So that is called the onion. So I am just an onion in the internet, and nobody knows who is the actual person behind that. So what are the positive sides of this technology? Right? You know, if I was working in China and I don't have freedom of speech, then a journalist will use it. I want to set a very confidential, report to somebody as to things which are not going right, and I don't want government which is repressive to know that. So essentially, it is very, very useful to use this Tor network. You would have heard of, who's the most famous guy who's done this, who uses it? The WikiLeaks. How do you think the WikiLeaks are leaked and these people are communicating without getting caught, and he's leaking all these leaked information and putting out on the dark web, and it's available for the world to, expose. The Panama Papers, if you go through the history of Panama Papers, it uses this kind of a technology. So these are some of the positive uses of technology where you can maintain your privacy. You are the centerpiece of the human factor. You are the centerpiece of this technology of Tor network. That means you have all the rights, the human rights of privacy. But with privacy, responsibility, and rights, the downside. So the same technology is also used by a lot of illegal, nefarious, drug traffickers and illegal activity people, human trafficking, pornography, and stuff like that. And that is the sleazy, much debated, much publicized usage of dark technology. But if you see the Tornet, if you see the technology is wonderful, algorithms set up, and but unfortunately, it is used more for nefarious activities rather than for positive, maintaining freedom of speech avoiding surveillance from snooping, the big brother is watching you kind of thing. You might have all read the book 1984. Okay, so to give you a little feel, let me, I'll just switch on to a little, some of this have you understood some of what I've said? What is encryption? What is hashing? What is onion? Let us see a little example of it, okay? And then if you would want, I will give you a little snapshot view of some working simulations of some of these underlying cybersecurity technologies, okay? Okay, so let me, I will just switch it on and then share. I'll have to change the share, right? Okay. Okay. So let me, are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me get rid of this other screen we have. Oh, not this. No, you got the wrong screen. That's all right. This one. Are you able to see a purple screen?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Private. It's written explore privately. So what am I using? What somebody had answered? I'm using what is called a Tor browser. So I have a special software which is called the Tor browser, through which I am able to surf the dark and the deep web. Okay. I've got certain precautions on my laptop. Please don't install it on your thing. You will attract a lot of, without knowing too much. Please don't download this. Don't install it, because you might invite a lot of trouble, because if you are not being introduced to this technology, use it properly. If you have gone through my 5 days, 3-day workshop of .NET technologies and what I do for the NCB, you are hearing about NCB, right? So how they are able to catch some of these drug trafficking guys who use this dark web very effectively is through some of the tricks which I covered in some of the courses I do. Anyway, coming back to this, you can see a dark window and you can see an onion kind of a thing. This is a dark browser, see? So what is it giving us? It is giving me privacy. It is using the dark network. Then the circuit display. I'll show you what is circuit display. This is a special software through which I can navigate the dark web. Right? I'm warning you again. I'm just giving you as a demo. Please don't dabble with it because you can land up in trouble. Because many of these places are actively acted by FBI or lawful agencies and others, because they're looking for deviants, they're looking for anti-nationals, they're looking for anti-social elements who use these technologies to bring disruption into our daily lives. Okay, so onion first. So all the services which it gives, like search engines and all that. So if you have to search the dark web, it will give you an onion service and a different thing. So you see the keyword here is it works on a Tor network. It sets up circuit. Let me show you what a circuit looks like. No, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Just see. So I use I'm not using Google search engine. I'm using a search engine called DuckDuckGo. This is a special search engine which can work with the Onion browser, Onion services. And why is it so? You may say, sir, why is it taking so long? Because I told you there is no big data center, central server. It is a distributed network which works on distributed nodes all over the world. These are called, now I'll show you a circuit. Just see what the circuit is like. Do you see? I've entered from here, you know where I am. And when I've entered the first node, where have I entered, which is called the dark node, I have entered France, a location in France. From France, I've jumped to Japan, Japan to Sweden, and then there are 3 relays, and that is my onion. And I can change this. If I say new circuit on this side, now it will give me a new circuit. See? Earlier it was Japan, now it's Germany. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right. So this is just wanted to show you a very 360-degree view of the browser. This is just one of the tools, the special software we use, which is called the Tor browser. Please don't use it on your regular machine. I am using it because I have, have all the safeguards in place, and I actually do this work. And when I do this work, my identity is something else, right? Okay. Do you see on top? Do you see this? You see, normally you get an IP address. I'm getting on the node the IP address, but those are not visible to me. What I'm doing is I'm going to this long address and to the onion, dot onion. So that is called an onion. So each addressable entity or information is actually in darknet, we talk of onion address. So now you understand why onion? Because it's like layers, encrypted layers peeling off an onion skin. There are so many skins you're wearing. See, from here I started my browser to go to my this onion site which I've gone through so many peels of skins. Each of this hop, it has encrypted, decrypted, sent further. So you know what is the beauty of this? Of course, France node knows that where I have connected from. But from France, when my information has gone to Germany node, the Germany doesn't know where the information is coming from. You understand? Similarly, so you only know your nearing neighbors, and that is why in a minimum circuit you put 3 relays, so nobody can track back the transaction or the communication back to you, and that gives you what is called anonymity. A very, very important aspect of the dark web, that you have to be anonymous. So there are a lot of precautions which I won't like to go here. I am just warning you, please, on your own, don't even out of inquisitiveness try it. It's not good. You can invite trouble. You have stalkers, you have all the cyber deviant people who are looking for all illegal activities waiting there. And if you get exposed with your real identity on the darknet, then well, it's not a good thing. Okay. Okay. So what I was saying, Doc, I think, do you want any other questions on this? So this is a special browser I'm using, see, and this is called the Tor, because I can't, and when I'm using this, of course, I'm sure you won't use it. You listen to me. You will not at the same time, go out on the other and normally use the Chrome browser. Because the moment you do that, you are exposing your real identity. And how is your identity identified? Can anybody tell me? How can I track it? If you are
with IP address, with my IP address.
Yeah, very good. Who answered that?
Sushant, sir.
You are the instructor there? Okay. All right. Prashant, that's right. IP address is one of the big identities through which everything can be traced back to you. Then there are techniques, how you do anonymize your thing. We use VPN. Then you use another VPN. Then you use spoofing of your MAC address. So you don't actually use your real MAC address, but you use your fake MAC address. You keep changing your IP address, you keep changing your circuit route. So you're making it very difficult to somebody to locate you and track you. Because if you get tracked, and if you're up to some, not so legal business, well, the lawful agency would be on to you. And it may not be Indian lawful agencies, it could be FBI, CBI, and the whole lot of them. Okay, I think enough exposure to the dark net. I thought I'll just show you a thing and this is the engine I use, the DuckDuckGo. It saves me from being tracked. No cookies, no nothing. So whatever I'm doing, normally you know how you get tracked through cookies. Whichever website you go and surf, they download some nice software into your browser, and then they understand, they remember where you're located, and that is why those ads start coming. You must have wondered as to how come they come to know that I visited this mall the other day. Because you entered, they know you like what you bought, why you bought. So they'll keep giving you ads and recommending you, maybe you like this too, why don't you buy this? Well, that's the marketing side of the internet technology. Okay. So leaked documents, this thing. And there's another document, Tor is not the most famous, but there is another network, peer-to-peer network called I2P. That is also used by some people to do a peer-to-peer network. Okay? Okay, I think enough of dark web technologies. Any questions? Okay. So we covered only you are one of the vulnerable target people as a lay user. So as a human factor, you should become a very enabled, wise, safe user, right? Even if you are not into the domain of cybersecurity, you should be totally aware of all the precautions to be taken from the technology side or from the operation side or the do's and don'ts. Very, very important. Okay, so what are the threats which we all face? We face extremism, right? We find abuse. Some of you, I hope not, might have been victim of harassment, what is called cyberbullying and stuff like that, right? While I'm talking, we are also running a campaign for Facebook for all these 11 states for synthesizing them about safe use of internet, Facebook, and all the digital technologies, and how to avoid the downsides and the dangerous victims which our citizens are becoming for unsafe use of these technologies. I don't want to scare you, but it's a reality, right? Many of us get caught through internet scams. What's an internet scam? Has anybody faced an internet scam? We all think we are too ashamed sometimes to admit that yes, I got this nice mail from a friend of mine who was in the UK. She was in trouble. She lost the money there in UK, and she immediately wanted some money to make some payments. Did anybody fall for that kind of a scam?
Phishing.
Nigerian scam?
That's called phishing.
Yeah, did you? Some people did, huh? And they don't admit.
Sir, I once downloaded games, sir, and ended up infecting my system, sir.
Absolutely, ransomware. Fantastic.
Yeah, ransomware. Exactly, sir. He was asking money.
Yes. Yeah, he'll say, "Abhi chahiye to paisa nikalo." Or,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, or he'll leak your information, or he will take your thing. Now you understand how dangerous users of social networks we all are. We are so voyeurist. We want to advertise to the whole world where we are going. I'm traveling here. I'm going with my friends. I am in cyber cafe and really enjoying and stuff like that. And you beam up your pictures onto these network. Do you know once you have a digital footprint, it can never be taken away? Even if the internet, Google, if you write to them, please remove all my information because that gives you, it's violating my privacy. I want every information about my identity to be, removed. Sorry, can't be done. You're there, your footprint is permanent there. Because the fragments of your search engine, the cache is floating all over the world, right? And Google will tell you, sorry, we have no control over it. We can't do it, right? So if somebody gets hold of your, let's say, picture, and you know all those morphing, fake views, fake ideas, fake IDs, and how much damage they already are doing. Individually, to our society and to our systems, building up fake narrative, fake information, misinformation, and the gaming. Now the gaming, the young people are very good fond of, this PUBG and all that stuff. My God, you might continue to do this because you may not be aware or you may not have been made victim of some of these things. The moment you are, but that's not the right way of learning things. Be a victim first and then learn the hard way. So, right. So I myself fell for a thing like this. A great friend of mine was in London. He said, yeah, I was there. My wife got admitted. I don't have enough money. I run out of money. Can you help me get some sterling pound payment immediately done? Otherwise, I'm not able to check out. And, like a fool. Because, it's emotional bond you have with a great friend. I must do something. I must help this person. And I have my sister out there and I beamed her. I said, this is the number. This is a friend of mine. Can you pass some, so many immediate money to him? I'll reimburse it when, offline. And then she laughed it out. She says, what kind of a cyber guy you are? This is a Nigerian scam you are being subject to. Forget it. We get it every day. Right. And in Europe, anybody has heard of GDPR? GDPR. Anyone? Must have. No? You know what is privacy law? Indian Parliament may bill pending. It is about to come. What is that privacy law going to do? It is going to safeguard and protect your individual privacy because your digital identity is being stolen. How do you think you get these marketing calls? Because you are subscribed to Airtel or Bharti or Jio or whatever, and your data is sold for money. Data is money. Data is the new oil. So your information is sold to the marketing guys, or they pick it up and they send it to the sales marketing agencies, and they keep ringing you up, sending you mailers, and stuff like that. Loan service, this service. You never ask for a loan service. So how is it somebody is giving you these marketing unsolicited sales? So under the privacy law, this all will going to become illegal. Presently, it is not, so people are going on doing it. In Europe, it is very strict. And that is why some of you might have realized that any of you who have European friends or you do business with or you work with them, they will never share their mobile number with you. They will never put their real identity onto the social media. But we do it, on WhatsApp. Oh, it's secure end-to-end, so it's secure. Let's share everything. Let's do this thing, right? But the endpoints are not secure, remember, right? So I don't want to get deeper into it. I just want to say that this digital footprint is a reality now. So we would be better informed as good citizens, right? We do safe computing, safe onlining, safe social things. And that is why new fields, some of us are specializing in legal, which is called cyber legal security, privacy security. I'm a privacy specialist. So these all are becoming very, special human interest stories. Also from your work perspective, from your job perspective, right? Propaganda. So, These are the threats our society is facing. So you as good digital thing. If I give a statement, alarming statement of all of us, including you, right, from Maitreyi College and anybody who's there on this network today, we are all under the seat into the state of war. Will I be right or wrong? Hello? Anyone would like to attempt this? Do you think we are right or wrong? If I say we are all at war and you are also participant into this war. So you want to be a warrior, right? How is it? Because the wars are formed in the information domain. What is called the hybrid war. Building up narratives, breaking your economy. These wars are not fought only through bullets and weapons and aircraft. It is fought through having mental trouble to you, feeding you of your finances, bringing down, cyber attacking your financial system, emptying out your bank account, emptying out your power grids. Is it not war? Are we not every day being subjected to this? We are. 24/7 you are remaining online. Are you not spoiling your mental health? Are you not losing touch with reality? Have you not started living in a virtual world? Are we able to get sleep without a companion, which is the cell phone and WhatsApp or whatever else you may be using? So you can't take the clock back, but we can at least ensure the new digital young citizens entering are safe, because they are the biggest victims. Some of you may have been subject to stalking, cyberbullying. It's so easy to cyberbully you, because I'm sitting so far away. I can abuse you. I can give you all kind of silly talk, thinking because I can get away with it. So totally undesirable, unethical etiquette of the net. And now cybersecurity initiatives are being taken to safeguard us, and controls are being put so that we can nab some of these culprits. If terrorists are using social media networks under fake identities, as cyber warriors, and some of us were in that field, our job is to track them down and identify which is fake, which is real, which is fake news, where it came from, what is the network like, and find out the vulnerabilities. So you understand, from physical world, we are living into information warfare, a psychological warfare, what is now these days, called a hybrid war, right? Each one is living into that. And you can't say that I was a military guy, only I do it. Even you are part of it. Because either you can be a target, or you can be an enabled, wise, protective individual who will educate and challenge his message further and keep your family safe, keep your near and dear ones safe from this dark side of the digital world. You don't have to avoid it. We can't, even if you wanted to. But remember, this is the new threats which we are facing. Right? I'm very sure this 1 month of online course which you're doing, whatever under this program, some of the fundamentals and rudiments of this thing you might have undergone, right? Okay. Here I was just talking about, you're all bright, young, smart professionals, women professionals, I would say, right? Some of you might have faced, or every day as we speak, might be facing some of this. And I do hope sincerely that none of you are the source of all this. You are only maybe targets. You're not a bully, but you may have been bullied. So how to avoid bullying? What are the net etiquette? What is the way you should do that? How do you avoid online social cruelty and things? Because it's so easy, this drone war. If you are a warrior behind the drone machine, which is throwing ammunition on people, you're so far away from where the action is, where the blood, the gore, the dust is, like the good old warfare where we used to be all in the battlefield, face to face, or on the borders. You're so far away, sitting in, you will feel you're playing a video game, right? So you're so detached, you're so inhuman, you don't feel anything. So it is taking a toll on our psychology. It is taking a toll on the human mind. And that is what is leading to what is called online social cruelty. We don't care how the match, I don't worry. It doesn't affect me, you say. You know? So all these words you may have come across. There is a standard I am lingo you guys use when you do the I am messaging, which is, the emoji generation. And if I'm not able to use, if I'm typing code, you will call me kind of, weirdo, old-fashioned. This guy is not, a real digital entrant. But let me tell you, this all buzzwords, this all fetish to all these, I would say, a silly, ego culture is not really good. Think about it. So loneliness. We are so much connected with each other, but yet we are so lonely, isn't it? I really do feel. We don't go out to play anymore together. I used to play good hold, hockey, football, cricket. We don't do that anymore. Not just because of COVID, but also because our life is so digitized now. We're all the time connected. We don't visit each other. We don't we don't take time for our grandmothers or grandparents. We just, I remembered you. I sent you 5 hearts and 3 instant communication and done with. And then I'm on to things. So it's so mechanical, isn't it? I mean, does it show human value? I don't know. I may be wrong, I'm old-fashioned, but I think it doesn't, right? Loneliness. So this is what is leading to loneliness. And with cyberbullying coming in, children are getting ostracized. They become targets of hate, of subterfuge, of bullying, and they get into a depressive state. So our psychology goes bad. We start getting disturbed. We can't focus on our studies anymore. We start losing, the whole world is bad, ugly. We start losing disinterest. And as I speak, we are doing these campaigns for the police agencies in the state of UP. And then we are going to cover 7 such campaigns of safety, cybersecurity. I'm very sure you being in an elite college in New Delhi, Delhi University, all of you would be, much more enabled, much more aware, mindful of what you're doing, what you're not doing, right? But sometimes we all need to refresh and learn all this. Okay. So this some more statistics for you. Private organization, identity protection. So much of money being spent in not only digitizing, but also security digitizing. So why am I showing you all this? You may say, sir, fine, cybersecurity. Because digitization, private organization, new threats, we have just covered, all the more requirement of new protections, new cybersecurity, new techniques of attacks are coming. So we got to have countermeasures for it if you are on a defense side of the game. Even if you are a marketing person, even if you are a research scholar, if you are doing research in biochemistry, I think I saw on your website you've done a lot of biology, zoology, and those kind of subjects also. So if you were a bioscientist or you were doing research on a very good work on genome or whatever in a research lab with an industry leader, so would you not want to keep this very classified information secure? How is it to be secured? How is it to be handled? We are all coming through, we're still recovering, haven't fully recovered through the pandemic, So So not only nuclear, biological, chemical. So there, you have a biological weapon amongst us, which has created so much havoc all over the world. And we're still beginning to find out what happened, what we did, because we're meddling with the genes, right? Now, whether the leak took place deliberately or accidentally is something which we'll never know, because there are big technical giants behind research in these fields. The positives, yes, pharma industry, protection, vaccines and stuff. So I'm reminded of the cyber technology 20 years back. You know, the cybersecurity biggest business was to write the virus and then write the anecdote for it. So both sides of the coin, you are making money, business. So I would say it is unethical, bad, just corporate greed, which makes some people do that, right? And I won't want to go into the political dimensions of what I'm saying, but let's stick to the technical side of it. These are some of the things you should know, right? IPC laws are there, by the way. Criminal intimidation by anonymous communication. So you know, just because you are anonymous on Tor or something, you think you can get back to me, or you want to take revenge, what you call, you know, most of the time these crimes happen because most of the time these inappropriate content is leaked out about individuals as a revenge. You did this to me, I will take revenge. I will expose you. I will mock your pictures and, you know, bring embarrassment to you. Right? Criminal intimidation. It's a criminal IPC under 507. So you're protected. So don't be alarmed. But first, let's be safe. Why get into all of that? Because, as I told you, if we know how the internet, the anonymous technologies work, we also got antidote tools how to de-anonymize it. The lawful agencies are constantly building up capability to de-anonymize and track these guys down. It takes time, but you know, the victim, anonymous, or the good old murder mystery guy always leaves a footprint. And that footprint is what helps us get to the digital crime person who has perpetuated the digital crime. Violation of privacy. If we have signed a privacy law, this is presently covered by the IT Act privacy, not very strong, it is not law, which many of us are not using, but now the awareness is coming. And that is why you would have heard of, there are new subjects coming, cyber ethics, cyber law, cyber legal. People are specializing in legal business of cybersecurity. So there is a huge, from a business standpoint, work also, you know, vocations and professions, people with interest can go through. You know, I was talking a similar webinar to a management college in Pune, and they were very much excited, and they were saying, sir, but this all requires science. We are all arts, so management graduates. So why should we, you know, how can we benefit even things? So I told them, even if you are a management MBA, do you know the role of MBAs has changed? It is no more just hiring and firing people, talent transformation, and you are no more a cost center. The businesses these days expect you to generate revenue, even if you are an HR head of a company. You will say, oh, how is that? That's not my job. That's only job of the business heads. No, you are also have to contribute to the revenue value chain of your organization. So privacy laws, keeping it safe, you're not getting litigations against you, right? And also teaching your partners, your employees how to be safe, monitoring, you know, safe behavior. Why do you say, you may say, sir, but is it not violation of privacy when I work in an IT company? Why should they be snooping on us? They're not snooping on things. They just want to know you are in a legally you are contracted to do some business. Are you misusing the resources sitting in that organization for personal use? It's violation of the law. It is not privacy violation. Second thing is, if you are up to some mischief by exposing, by leaking data, confidential items and data from what is called the insider threat. 20% of the threats in the statistics show the world over are insider threats. No large organization with all the protective controls can be subjected to ransomware if they did not have the some help from an insider, a disgruntled insider. So you have to keep a watch on the disgruntled guys, right? That's not violation of the privacy. It is protecting everybody, protecting society. So privacy law is getting very standard. GDPR in Europe is the law. You cannot keep without the will of the people their confidential data, private data, what is called PII, Privacy Enhancement Information about you. Can anybody tell me what is PII related to us? Any example? Hello? Hello? Your mobile number. Your mobile
Sir, your
number,
voice is not clear, sir.
I said privacy, PII, privacy enhancement information. How do I track you down? How do I profile you? Suppose I'm looking for you. I'm searching you. I'm looking for a guy with your description from the internet, digital world. I'm talking. So I will require some private information about you to ascertain that yes, the information and profile I'm building up, it actually belongs to you. So can you tell me what are some examples of this private information about you, your identity, which is very private, which you can deny to people as per the law, privacy law? Any example?
Sir, my number, my IP address, and
Yes.
the machine I'm using, its specifications.
Yes. So
that
this is the information I use to track you down. Your browser. You know what is a browser fingerprint?
Sir?
Browser fingerprint.
Browser fingerprint, sir, the entries I made, sir, my search, my browsing histories and all.
Yeah, that is part of it. Partly, I think you're right. Anybody else? Is it only one guy who's answering? Yeah, Anita answered mobile number. Of course, your card, of course. Card you all safeguard because there is a financial loss there, right? You all know card information. I have to safeguard because somebody may spoof my card, and if they come to know my PIN, then I'm gone, right? That definitely is. That is a sensitive information about you, which is financial in nature. But other than financial, all these infos, your mobile number is very much a thing. Like I told you, in Europe, you will never find anybody unless he knows you, unless he's working with you. They will not readily share with strangers all through the internet their mobile number. They will give you a number officially, a desktop reachable number, an office number. Please reach out on this number. Why do you do that? Because you're safeguarding your privacy, and you have all the right to do that. I cannot compel, nobody can compel you to give your private number unless you want to share it, unless you're very sure about who you're giving your number to. Right. What else? Your medical, your orientation, your sexual orientation. It's all very private, very, very special, has to be protected, your privacy. Nobody should know your medical details. So when we go to a hospital, when we go for a test, don't you think it's a very, very private and a very, very confidential information which other than you and your doctor whom you are confided in should know about it? So there is a law for it. There is a law for it. There is a standard which is maintained, which is called HIPAA. What is the standard which we have to follow for payment card protection, payment gateways? All these credit cards, payment apps. Anyone? PISS, have you heard? That is the payment gateway. So whenever you work in a finance industry, if I do solution and make an application for a finance industry, payment gateway, fintech company, I have to make my software secure and conform to all the controls and norms of this standards. And these standards are generally published by ISO standards. And now you know why the standards are important, and you have to follow the standards because you have to be compliant to them. If any foreign bank wants to open up a bank branch in India, it has to go through the regulatory guidelines of RBI, which is listed there. You have to meet this, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to red teaming, you have to maintain this. Then only we can consider your application for opening up a bank. So these are called regulatory frameworks. Second are medical diagnostics. These days, pacemakers. Do you see any dangers? If I have an old grandmother at home who's a heart patient and she's having a heart pacemaker implanted in her body, do you think she can be subject to a cyber attack? Hello? Yes. How? Can anybody say how? Because it is less like a mobile application. Because the computing, the diagnostic end machine, which is going to take your reports, they are going to also interact with the measurements which are going to come out from the pacemaker, because there is going to the monitoring terminal. And if that monitoring terminal is giving you all the recordings, but it is not built in a particular secure way with all the controls of security and privacy built in, it can expose your personal information. One. Second, it can be subjected to vulnerability. I can introduce a malicious software and it can make the heart rhythm go bad, and you can actually kill people like this through a remote embedded IoT device. These are all called IoT device. And these days you would have heard IoT security is becoming very, very important. It's a new, because of connectivity of all these devices, the security aspect is not making big penetration because the security is not being built in. Standards are still being formulated. People are being conformed to it. Okay. What does IoT stand for? Anyone?
Internet of Things.
So you all go to gym, some of you put in Fitband or the what do you call the famous iWatch, some of the affluent ones of you who can afford all these gadgets, you wear all that. They're all IoT devices, okay? So I can actually track you through them. You are being tracked because you are making measurements of your body, your physiology, how much walking you have done, what is your heart rate. And this is all private financial information pertaining to you, a very important personal individual. So when we use this, we have to be worried and cognizant of the fact that where is this data going? Who all is reading my personal medical data? I'm wearing all these fancy devices. Alexas and homes are good, but it's monitoring everything within my home. It's also picking up my TV watching habits. It's also telling me what I do. And if you have installed cameras at home, it can also monitor and control your cameras and beam pictures out from your home without you knowing it. So it has penetrated our world, right? Smart city we are talking about. Smart meters are the first thing which they have implemented. This is an IoT device. So not only are they giving you how much consumption of electricity you are doing, Are you sure that they are not reading out anything else? Are they sure that data they are taking from your home, they are not sharing it with some other business? And through that usage of your electricity, they can, using artificial intelligence, they can ascertain how much gadgets you are working at home, that you have all these fancy smart gadgets, and they are consuming so much of electricity, and then so that becomes a window of vulnerability into your home. So what is it called in terms of cyber terminology? Anyone? It's called an attack vector. Like in biology, you say this, vector, this pandemic, COVID vector, right? I don't know the biological name, but the virus is called a vector. So that's where it penetrates, that's where it transmits, and that's where it enters your organism. So same way, a cyber attack comes in the same way. It can come through your smart meter. It can come through your camera, IP cameras installed in to safeguard you. Somebody can remotely control that camera because it is IP controllable camera, and it's so easy. Second thing is China. Every citizen has been photographed while walking on the street, and they build up a database, and then they can track you down. They can identify all the criminals. So there are two sides of this. One, they are picking up without you knowing your picture is being captured and put into a database. On the other side, lawful agency says, yeah, we need it. We can identify criminals from a crowd. So that's how the technology is going. But you as digital citizens, we have to be very cognizant of it. And some of you getting motivated by the code girls, I actually implore you and encourage you to really, get into this exciting field. It's a growing field, and we have talked about a lot of human factor, what is happening. Now coming to the human factor. Okay, what is the human factor? Anyone?
So,
what is the human factor? What is lacking? We understood security, the importance, these are the vulnerabilities. So whereas you will say, oh sir, all these are saying these are all technology, but where is the human coming in? Because you are the target, you are the participant into this world, right? Whether you like it or not, or you could also be working in an industry which deals with it. So you are the human index. You use a system which are automated. You are using the systems, you are operating a machine and doing your work, whether you are doing scientific work, whether you are doing marketing management, you are using a laptop, right? You are connected to the internet. So are you not party? You are not embedded into the world? You are. You could be attacked. At the same time, you can create it to your benefit. You can get better of the game, be secure, and generate more value for yourself. And then you can, what these code girls did in 1940 in the Americans, this Genevieve Gauchon, a great leader, she's still alive, and 23 other young, bright girls broke the Japanese code, like the Enigma, more stronger than the Enigma, called code name Purple. But unfortunately, this code was broken after the Pearl Harbor, after the Japanese had attacked the US. But it safeguarded them from a lot of subsequent attacks by the Japanese to the US Navy, to the US homeland. So that's a great work, inspiring work, mathematicians and ladies do. And what is the background when you read this book? This is another exciting book some of you could read. These are the women code breakers of the thing. So it is not that cybersecurity, cryptology is only for the men. It is also for the ladies, for the women. And they've done remarkable work. And they were all teachers, when they were recruited by the military in the US in the Second World War, because all the able-bodied men were recruited and they had to go to fight the actual physical war. So then they said, we have to use these women who are staying back at home to help us with code breaking and operation of these things. So that is why you'll find historically all the communication centers, the exchanges, the code breaking, the telegraph office. Do you see historically, even in India, you would find lady operators, lady working there and doing great service, great work. Teachers were roped in with mathematical background and they became fantastic code breakers. This is another good book you all must read. It was a bestseller by Lisa Mundi. Okay. Okay, so this say if you are all stepping into, let's say a big corporate world, most of you will end up there. Unfortunately, there is no time to know what kind of audience I have there. What is their actual discipline? Why are they being taught cybersecurity? Because this is a cybersecurity awareness week, or some of you might be really keen on building up a real career for yourself there. So from a human factor, unfortunately, security is also an afterthought, right? अभी पहले सिस्टम बना लेते हैं, सिक्योरिटी बाद में देख लेंगे, दीवार लगा देंगे, गेट बना लेंगे, लॉक लगा देंगे. These days, do you think your homes are safe because you put a lock on the door? Similarly, if you think that we have put some password and some firewall and I am safe, the kind of threats which we are getting, and if you are a target of some good or bad element, I would say, then unfortunately, the attacking techniques are very smart. And as defenders, as protective technology controls, we have to be also at least equal to the game, if not better. So what happens is, why it took a back seat, why it became an afterthought, because it was not a revenue generator. You have to put more money. When you build up a house to live in, you build up a basic thing. For example, okay, house is a bad example. Modern example is, you're going to buy a electric car, which you hear about. Electric cars are going to be the reality in next 10 years. Many of you would be a proud owners of such kind of a vehicles, right? Because the other gas anyway will run out, right? So you will have electric cars, battery, lithium ion, and all that stuff, right? That's okay. So when you go for buying a car, you say, okay, I need this feature, I need that, I need a great music system, I need Bluetooth, I need this automatic transmission and everything, right? But somebody says, oh, no, you please put this also. It's when you say, no, it's going to cost so much, I want to be run out of my budget. Why should I put a security control there? Why should I protect my thing? It's going to cost me an awful lot more. So we're always taking it as a drag. It's not really a must-have. But dynamics are changing now. Please understand me, whether you are deploying a system, whether you are building a new system, whether you are a human in that system, or whether you are a machine in the system, the security should be built in and not as an afterthought, which is presently the case. Internet was built, it was not meant to be a secure thing. Then we came up with TSL and SSL crypto layers, right? Otherwise, if people would have thought internet will going to expand the way it is and it should be secure, all these algorithms would have been automatically built into the protocols of the networking, but they were not built in. They were built in later on. Same way, applications are first built and security guards are put, which is called strap on, and that is why the security weakest link. And the human part, which is the weakest link, right? Why is it the weakest link? Because you don't really care about security. You're not aware of it first. You think, so I want to. Don't keep giving me this lecture, security, be wise, be secure. Right. So yeah, I've heard it. I know I'll be safe. And yet we don't safe. How many of you do digital transactions from your regular mobile to which you also do something, which you also do social networking? Maybe most of us, right? And by God forbid, I hope you don't save your, your browser gives you saving your user ID, password, and cookies and all. So I hope you don't save your banking ID, in account numbers, e-banking I'm talking about, into the browser. If you do, then you would have already been scammed. Okay. So can anybody tell me what is without very heavy technology, what will be the safest way of doing financial transactions? Anyone? Can I have an answer this time, quick?
The third party can access the password and all.
Okay, maybe I can't. I think it was muffled. Okay, you want me to put the question in it? Safe financial transaction. I'll close now, then we can do a question answer session. Just give me 5 minutes. I think we have some time. 20 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can anybody answer? What is the best way of doing e-banking, making a banking transaction? You want to send a payment to me. Which is the best way? Yeah, that is the unsafe. I'm asking which is the safe way?
Using UPI.
Yeah, that is a tool. You're assuming that these applications are tested and this thing. But as a layman, as a user, you know what is a live?
So through mobile banking.
Yeah, of course.
Like we have apps for the each bank. So through that it automatically logs out when after the use.
Because you know these applications are secure, tested, then only they've been allowed. But you know human failure. Suppose हमने testing ठीक नहीं की. I am a tester, I am a security consultant, and said कि sir इसको हम कर लेंगे, अभी इसको pass कर दो. We'll do it. So regulations very strict. You cannot pass such things. So whenever you are doing cyber security audit, cyber security work, I think you should be not take any chances. Here it is about banks, so people are always worried about finances. It can also be about your life, right? Somebody is tracking you down. Somebody wants to carry out extortion. Somebody wants to kidnap a child in your family to take revenge. Somebody, the scourge of drugs, the scourge of human trafficking. It's one of the biggest business going around all over the world, unfortunately. Okay. So the safest way is, simple way, you know what a live CD is? You get these CDs where you plug in and it's called live CD. So it boots in that presently you're working with Windows, let's say, then you will work into, let's say, Linux, and it will come as a thing. And nothing is stored on your hard disk. It is all in the memory of your machine, of that live machine. You do your transaction, shut down your transaction, close your computer, remove your CD, and reboot back into your regular Windows operating system. That is at least a better, safer way of doing it. Why? Because everything is done in the memory. Even if somebody has stepped, it's for a very short while. Nothing is saved to your hard disk. Nothing is there in your regular browser which you use. So the chances of your attacks to your financial information or your personal information is reduced. This is called the attack surface. So you are reducing your attack surface. Okay. Net banking to ठीक है, but you are depending on trust. Now it's all about trust. The PIN card which your trust sent you by mail. Suppose there is some bad hat sitting in the guy in the department who issues these pins, right? And if he compromises, he's a bad hat. He knows your pin. He knows where I'm mailing it to, and if he's got something. So, usko protection karne ke liye, what do? They have dual responsibilities. All financial, all vaults, all sub-key management is not put in the responsibility of one banking officer. It is always put under charge of 2 or 3 banking officers, so that it is agreed that at least possibility of all 3 of them joining together and doing the scam, the possibilities are there, but it's reduced, right? Yes, we need credentials. That you have to remember. Then I don't want to tell you safe passwords and all that. So what I was wanting to tell you is now slowly the CIO, he's the guy who with the power, who sets up the digital infrastructure, builds up the digital payment gateway. So he gets a place at the big table. The CEO, our board members are all very concerned about this. But till now, the CISO stands for the security officer, the information security officer was told to defend, react, and only respond. And that is the statistic. So they do save. Now they are getting another appointment called risk officer, security risk officer, security insurance. So these are all the, you may think, because dynamics world, digital world is changing, so it requires different human factors, different skill sets. Okay? So, ये मैंने आपको बताया security by design. There. So human factors. We don't follow security by design. We don't build when the system is being built because they are a little costlier. It takes us a longer time. We said, "Arey yaar, wo baad mein laga denge. Abhi to banne do." You know, we are meeting the yardsticks. We have to close this by. You know, we have to inaugurate. The minister has to come and inaugurate and cut ribbon. So baad mein dekh lenge security. Most of us do that. That is the recipe for disaster. So human factors, yes, when we are working as a designer, if we are not building in security in your system, we are a weak designer. If you are a programmer, we don't use safe coding practices. We are not ensuring that not only are we writing correct code, we are writing secure code. So that is a skill to be learned. Software itself is vulnerable. So I'm weak user. So ये सब करके आपको you become what is called the biggest, weakest link in the security chain. That is how important we are. You may be using the best advanced technological control systems, but if you don't follow good hygiene, good security practices, you are a very weak link in the chain. And the security of the whole organization, including your own self, could be compromised. That's how important it is. What does it stand for? Yes. CISO stands for Chief Information Officer, CIO. CISO stands for Chief Information Security Officer. And CRO stands for Chief Risk Officer. This is a new appointment. So normally this privacy, there is one more appointment. Because of its privacy has become centerpiece. Privacy law is coming. It is called DPO, Chief Privacy Officer, CPO. So all these are new appointments at the top of the table. So you can understand if big appointments are coming, big branches are coming in the corporate, inke niche is where they're looking for cyber analysts, cyber programmers, cyber consultants, information security personnel and all that. And we are growing very big in digital world, but we are still lagging behind in security, catching up. In all these fields, from programmer to designer to user to distributor. Okay. So opportunity for all of us. So before I close and ask for more questions, we can have a discussion session. I just want to share with you, pardon me for being telling you where I came from. I run this Athenian Learning Academy. I do a lot of training, some of the current trainings which I am driving. You can be machine learning for cybersecurity, digital risk assessment. These are standing ISO world standard, fundamentals of application security training, cyber threat hunting, some of you who write, and how AI and malware algorithms can be used for security testing and detecting. So this is as part of my organization. I also run this consulting as well as training department. And I thought I'll just share with you. And I do customize hands-on training, not only blah, blah, blah. And you saw that. Let me show you now one small thing. For example, let me share that because this is the extra step you have to do. Yeah. Can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let me just show you a demonstration of what is a digital signature, Anyone? Okay. What is a digital signature? Come on. You all do banking and all that, right? Okay.
Sir, digital key used to protect a document.
Yeah. So there are algorithms used. So they all come with. Now all the strengths are coming in this technology. You know, why did I start with cryptography and crypto? It's not that you have to learn everything, but you have to be a very informed user deployment of it. Even if you are a deployment engineer, even if you are an application user, you should understand what is the digital key, what is the importance of that, and how I could, how I should handle it. That pen drive which the bank gives you key है इसमें उसमें digital key होता है. So very quickly, I'll run this for you. So we open the document. Sorry. So whichever document, suppose I put this document, I've uploaded the document. The document is got uploaded. Then it will go to, what is the hash function? Then do you see that? I have mentioned in that text document, I have given this message called attack Pearl Harbor on December 6th. And this is my decrypted. This is the binary. Don't worry about that binary. This is the binary information of that text. So it has gone to what is a hash function. What is a hash function very quickly? Anyone?
Encrypting.
Yeah, encrypting, but even the encryption key is encrypting. But इसमें एक फर्क है, slightly different. It is a one-way function. One-time, one-way function. Understood? That means whatever you do once it's generated, and if the original gets tampered again, the hash value will change. And you cannot, from the hash value, you cannot go back to the original. In encryption, you can, with crypto algorithms, you can do a decryption and get back the original, right? So in hash function, you would have heard MD5, AES25, MAT1, these are called all hash function functions. So fine. तो वो compute करता है. तो hash function यहाँ generate होता है. ये देखो. Which all hash function? MD2, MD5, SHA. These are all the algorithms. You select one. So it is like a fingerprint. This hash function is like, it gives you a signature. Signature is like a, now we will see here. See, I give this algorithm, I run this algorithm. It is giving me this signature, this binary digit number, which is unique. And from this number, I cannot go back to my key, original key. Okay? इसने compute किया, it gives me a hash value. Then I can, this is just a hash value for digitally signing the thing. Right? Then I generate my encryption key here, say prime numbers, all of those, all of you who are mathematics, I'm generating some numbers. I apply these things. I'm using the RSA algorithm, prime B, prime P, and it generates a very long 64, 128, 600, 256 long RSA key, encryption key. Why do we have a long key? Anyone very quickly?
It is difficult for
So that will be hard for the brute force.
You need a lot of computing power to brute force. Brute force requires a lot of computation, to basically what are you doing? I've taken, if you take a very large number, break it into two prime numbers, and then you distribute one prime number to you and one prime number I keep. So basically they are public and private keys. So if I just have one part of the key, can you recover my original large number from it? No, very difficult. It requires brute force computation from those two prime numbers to generate which is the number which I broke to generate these two keys. You understand the logic? Somebody who is a mathematician would understand. Right. Okay. So encrypted hash value aa gaya. So then I get the digital signature. This is my digital signature. Yes. See, hash key encrypted with private key on the signer. So when you see that any of you have handled these affidavits, e-forms, e-document, e-online forms, you would have seen a lot of long signatures and these keys there. Those are basically all these mathematical functions taking place there. So then you get a certificate that is called the generate PSC certificate. Right? Apna naam dala. So now I am giving it my name. So it identifies You will say, it's like bank. Will a bank and then check my checkbook without my name and signature? No, huh? Same way. Here, everything is happening digitally. I have to fill all these numbers. PIN number I have to give 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. Then I have to verify. See? There. See? Random number generation is generating my random key. And you know how random number generation happens? Where was my angle of the key? How hard I press the thing? Pseudo random noise, and take all these inputs and create a truly random generation number which cannot be regenerated. That is why it is unique. And then there he created a signature. You generate, so all the hard work you have done through automation to generate a signature, then you have signed the signature, and this goes to, you send it to the digital transaction, they will verify this. Yes, they will say yes. This digital document has come from digitally signed by so and so, so it is genuine. But if my signature did not match, they will reject it. They will say, sorry, this is some imposter, somebody else who's trying to do that. Understood? Little bit at least. So what I want to say is, yeah, please go ahead. Yeah. Any questions?
Each company has its own unique hash function, right?
No, hash function is randomly generated. It's an algorithm. You use different algorithms. So there are standards will tell you, please now MD1 is broken. You see what happens is, breaking, code breaking, this and that. So people have found MD1, the algorithm that has been cracked. So they will advise you, please, your advisory will come, please use MD5 minimum, because they are not still broken. In internet, there is called encryption key called key exchange algorithm called Diffie-Hellman exchange. They use a lot of these algorithms which are not yet broken. The day they are broken, the whole world will, internet will have to really collapse. Why? Because they will say, "Arey, the basis of a key exchange algorithm is broken." That means somebody can compromise of keys. That means internet no more is safe. We have to do something else, new solution. So unique samajh, it's an algorithm. It is a crypto algorithm.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So advisors tell you, RSA का key broken नहीं हुआ है, ये use करो. This is how the guidance you give in cyber security. Sir, you have to use this certificate. Please, this is the process. So this is part of your requisite understanding, knowledge to be a safe professional in the marketplace. And you can't run away from digital. And if you are doing any digital work, I think it is privacy and security is a very good thing to know. And you can make a business and a career out of it. Okay, so there are a lot of practical things I want to do. I wanted to show you some of these things. When we do training in a workshop, we have got labs, simulations. So we actually give you the concept and show you how it works, some of it. And are any of you coders?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Which language you code in?
Python.
Python.
C++,
Good.
Java.
You should
Java and C++.
Very good. Yeah, they're all good languages. No language. See, it's like this. If I speak good English, and somebody speaks very good Hindi or French or German, they can be as well good in communication as me, right? So that's how it is. The question is, what you are speaking, what you are doing with that knowledge. So what do you plan to do with this learning language of Python and all? So you should seriously explore becoming a security analyst, a data scientist. If you are liking numbers, if you like number crunching, or cybersecurity, you can get into what is called machine learning, artificial intelligence. So they may sound like if you're mathematically inclined, that is, right? So most of the data scientists, you will find a lot of bright girls sit there. They use all these programming, scripting, and they do number crunching, because you are asked to pull so much data from repositories, databases, and convert the raw data into knowledge base, and then come out with a executive summary report. Most important job. All senior people, all chief executives want, they have only 5 minutes window They want their data scientists to give them. Give me the key issues. Don't give me information. Give me information. Don't give me knowledge. And now information with artificially enhanced artificial intelligence give you predictive analysis. Anyone here taken statistics as a subject? Linear algebra?
Yes, sir. Mathematics.
Yeah, linear algebra, statistics, and Python and computer science. Wow, heady list. You are fit for cybersecurity world. Welcome, come. And for those who are not so mathematically inclined also, this Python knowledge is a very big skill to have these days, because you will do executive summaries, you will do data crunching, you will have to make smart decisions on numbers, on information. So Python is a great tool for that. Scripting, what is it called, right? Because what we do manually now, they can help you automate. So when people say machine learning aa gaya, automation aa gaya, we're losing jobs. Yes, the same jobs you are losing. Earlier, people used to hire 25, 30, 40, hundreds of data entry operators. Now they're hiring two, because they've got all these fancy tools and machines who can just crunch data for them. They have to just run these machines and do their job. So what happened to the 98? If they were wise and if they saw it coming, they would have reskilled themselves, repositioned themselves for different skills, isn't it? That's the problem. People are very, you have to be very quick to adapt, see it coming, and then be ready for it. So any of you who are keen to further, explore further, build your skill depth, like I shared with you, I think you have my details. Do reach out to me, even if you're not here. Keen is, taking a course. Maybe you can have a synopsis of it. I have a lab where I've got all these machines, computing, developmental platform, cybersecurity things. One more thing, let me show you last, not the least. Okay, somebody said phishing and all that attack, right?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, time up.
I would just request you to show us this last thing, because we have already reached the timeline of 6 p.m. So if you could wind up the session, yeah, we'll really appreciate that, sir.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Thank you very much. I am a little keen on just showing them these videos. It's just 3 minutes. That's my summary up thing. So I've just done a self-running thing. Hold it. I have to share this screen, otherwise you won't see it, right? Okay. Now you are able to see? Okay. So I'm going to run a video. Please watch.
भैया 6 बज गए, अभी मेरा 1 घंटे का लेक्चर है.
I can hear somebody. Yeah. So this is what is called one of the tools we use, which is called a social engineering toolset as a cybersecurity. It's a self-running video. You can see I'm doing a social engineering attack. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get access to your credentials. It is called a spear phishing attack vector. It is part of the toolkit of social engineering toolset, which normally we teach the pen testers to do. So if you are not safe, I can harvest your credentials. See, I'm making a payload. I'm making a vulnerability thing, and I'm making a site cloner. I've taken a banking site which you normally go to. I made a clone of it. It's a fake site, it's not the real site. That's how you do social attacks there. And now on this address, 192, this thing, I am listening.
Sir? So you have...
Yeah.
So you might have shared the wrong window actually.
You're not seeing a video running?
No, sir.
So the video is not showing.
Okay. Oh. Just a moment. New share, screen share. Now, are you seeing 2 MP files?
So MP4 files are visible.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know what the problem is. When I click them, then it goes to a new window. So I have to share that window. Just a moment.
Exactly,
Let me,
sir.
let me open that. Yeah, sorry. These are some of the challenges of online teaching. Okay, so yes. Now I think you can see, right?
Yes, sir, it's playing now.
Yeah. So this is my termination call. So I think, sorry for overshooting by 2-3 minutes. It will run for 3 minutes, but it gives you a practical feel of what a spear phishing attack is. Because you may have read about it, you may know what happens, but when you see it happening and when you are able to do it, it becomes a different ball game, right? Then you never forget it. And this is what I teach. This is what we do in our training lab as part of our workshops and training and stuff like that. This is the kind of thing I teach the Narcotic Bureau officials. But of course, that is on the dark web. So we actually practically every lesson, every technique we talk about, we follow it by an example, a practical thing, and then they make them do it themselves. Because of course, that is if you are keen on. Okay, this is done. So you see what has happened is he's gone to a website and he's logging in there. So maybe I have to share that again. Yeah. Yes. So what is happening is a fake website say, I have picked up your this thing, what do you call, credentials, and now I'm showing, the video is showing that those credentials I have entered. Yes, this one. This is all site only. Are you seeing this on child protection website? Hello?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. So you see, here you see harvesting attack. Look at this. Let me stop this. Yeah. Look at this. Admin username, and this is the password I use. Admin. Just example. Admin. So I found it. No, you were entering to a fake site. So I did a spear phishing attack to you, and because you didn't see with clarity that you were actually logging on to a fake site, and you entered your real password, and I got your password, and I used that password to enter your real site and run money or your data or whatever. So this is the spear phishing and harvesting. And same thing, this is for this thing. The other one is for Twitter. You may say Twitter and all we do. So you are so we can do the same thing with your Twitter account. Okay. All right. I think I'll stop here. It's a little past thing. So any final questions? So I finished, and thank you very much. And I'm sorry for some times not so clear audio, right?
So in fact, we are very, very pleased to have you. You're an encyclopedia of knowledge and your enthusiasm has blown us. The way you wanted to show us everything, share everything practically is highly appreciated. I can see on the chat box also. The participants have really enjoyed your session and we will definitely like to connect with you in future again.
Yeah, incidentally, can you share with me 2 minutes just to know better? Because what is the kind of sessions you would like to do or workshop you would like to hold? Incidentally, you are still continuing. Delhi government has not opened up your physical attending the colleges as yet?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. But at least, are you the coordinator?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm the convener of the. Yes, sir.
Veena, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, any of you, you have my credentials, you have my profile, you have my thing. Please reach out to me. I'll be more than glad to, I'm a very young senior citizen.
Definitely, we can understand that, and we're so pleased to have you.
Don't go by my hair and nothing. I can beat any young guy, even in running.
Yes, you're very young in learning and sharing your knowledge. We're really pleased to have you, sir, here. And I'm so sorry I had to stop you in between because
Pushpender has raised some hand. Does he have a question?
Yeah, I think Pushpender has a question. Please go ahead, Pushpender.
Yeah, please,
Yes,
Pushpender.
sir. Sir, I want to ask about the qualifications needed for CISO and CRO posts.
Oh, very good question. So you see what happens is, first of all, they are a little, you have to get into the stream of standards. So you know what happens when you go to large corporation, you have to have the knowledge of information security. So you are presently what? You have done some course, or this is your first, not this, but this 1 month training is your first month into cybersecurity exposure, or
I have done some courses from udemy.com also.
Okay, very good. Self-learning is the best learning. I was a soldier, man. I left home at 17 years of age and joined the National Defense Academy. And I don't know what all, I've been to Lockheed Martin, F-16 simulators, So nothing can stop you if you want to go wherever you want to go. Very fantastic. So coming back to your question, you have to do standards thing. CISP is one good certification you should take when you are 3 or 4 years down the line with someone. Most important thing is, what was his name? Hemant, right now, what was his name? Sorry again. Pushpinder. Pushpinder, the important thing is to initial years, do hands-on learning. One of the bad things about our medium management senior as we go, we start becoming very hands-off. So what happens is then your knowledge becomes very stale, and then technology, what pace it's moving. So 3-4 साल आप पहले cyber security jobs करिए, like pen testing, all this social engineering, analytics, machine learning, and उसके लिए courses हैं, and you should go for these certifications. So one very good standard, I won't recommend you ethical hacking and all that. So MCQ type of question test and all, I was no use there actually. You getting what I'm saying? Because I may not be a biology student, but I'm telling you, I will spend 15 days and I will pass your, BSc biology honors entrance exam. If it was only multiple choice. Because guidebooks are there, we just mug it up without really deeper understanding of that and just answer the tick mark and we may qualify, right? So that is not no good. Yes, you must do CISSP. That is a very good, very credited thing. It is from Ishaka. That certification you should do. In the near years, you should do practitioners of the trade, like ethical hacker, not ethical hacker, this pen tester, and this is what I train. This is what we train young engineers. I have a lot of interns and young engineers. We set up labs for them, and I believe only in practical training. What theory wala, that is good for senior people. Senior management, some knowledge they should have of this thing. But you, as a young bright person who's going into the industry, you should be hands-on. So Python mandatory. How good are you in Linux? You must master Linux. Right? Because that is your toolkit. These are your tools.
Yes,
who uses these tools to do engineering. So ये करना चाहिए, and you reach out. I can further guide you what courses you should do. You would like to. I'll be very happy if any of you who got anything, and if you're working on any project, you need any mentoring, any guidance, I'm always there. I have mentored. I was in Wipro Technologies. I have mentored about 50 or 60 odd young engineers who were not getting jobs, right? And they are all in US and very fancy places. I have jokingly asked them, hey, I think I need to send you and ask for a job now, right? So that's my passion. Engineering and learning is my passion. I'm not a teacher, I'm a learner. So I sit together with the engineers, I say, let's learn it together. Let's do it. Okay. Anybody else? Any other
Thank you
question?
so much, sir.
Okay, done.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving
I
such
also want
diligent
to
insight on the topic.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Vanchika, just last word. I showed you that Code Girls thing, so I see a lot of girl participants in this webinar. I would encourage them to not run away from code breaking and cyber security. It is very much a field for the girls also. They are doing exceedingly well because they are more focused sometimes than the boys. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Now I request all the participants to turn on their cameras for a group picture. I request the team to please click the photographs.
Okay. So I can now see all the bright faces. Good. Pushpinder, we can't see you. Yeah, good, good. Yeah, that's nice. So, how many were there? 117 or 119?
119, sir.
So I hope at least a dozen of you would have got triggered to pursue this field further. That was one of my aim pluses. एक महीने का छोटा कोर्स करके थोड़ा जनरल नॉलेज. These days, general knowledge is good, but you have to be deep down. Whatever you go after, become a specialist.
Yes, sir. I hope it's done.
Yeah, I think no, कोई raise hand है क्या और? No. No, I think done. There are no more questions.
No, just wait for just 2 seconds more, please.
Okay.
There are more questions?
No, sir. So it's all done.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So any who all, if one man was there, who else are the faculty here? Can I know? Are you faculty, Vanchita?
No, sir.
No, sir. No faculty here?
Sir, good evening.
Yeah, we are here,
Doctor,
sir.
yeah, so sorry, go ahead, ma'am.
No, it's okay.
It's Dr. Veena and Dr. Veena Guryani from Department of Computer Science, and myself is Dr. Jyotsna Vasan from the same department. So nice
Yes,
to
sir.
have you, sir. And it was totally insightful for us. In fact, thinking I am a student, I've learned so much from you.
Thank you very
So
much.
pleasure to have you here today.
Yeah, it will be always good. I enjoy my energy from young people. So if they are excited, I get excited too like this, and then we have fun. I think whenever you have fun doing something, then the learning is greater.
Yeah, it's lifelong learning. Agreed.
Yeah. So I will be more than glad to, carry out our association further. And if any of your, on an individual basis, people want to join and really get their handles on, if they are preparing for some entry into some new job, security market, this shoulder is a man to reach. I am a very hard task master. I am a military guy.
Thank you all.
Thank
I
you,
want to
ma'am.
inform all the participants that the CSLP team will be dropping the feedback form and quiz link in the chat box. Please fill your genuine feedbacks about this event with correct credentials, as this will help us in improving the future sessions.
Okay.
Please remember to attend the quiz till 11:59 p.m. today. And attending all the sessions and attempting all the quizzes after the sessions with feedback form is mandatory to gain the certificate. Also, all the school students will be getting certificates for each session after successfully attempting the quiz. And all the college students should score at least 50% aggregate to be eligible for certificate for completion.
Okay. It's a very easy, simple one. I'm sure all of you will get all the answers right. Did you give them some less time? Otherwise, I hope they don't cheat. Because multiple quiz में बड़ा आसान होता है. Okay. Sorry. I know all of you are very ethical people, and because if you cheat now, you will keep cheating yourself in your life. I always took the road less traveled. Then you can take any hardship which come across.
Now, on behalf of our CSLP team, I'd like to give my hearty vote of thanks to our speaker, retired Colonel Sunil Kapila, for accepting our invitation and for making an excellent presentation and making this seminar very meaningful and interesting. Thank you, sir, for your very thought-provoking and interesting address.
Okay.
I would like to express a deep gratitude to our principal, Dr. Haritma Chopra, for her continuous guidance throughout the process. I also extend thanks to our teachers, Dr. Veena Guryani and Dr. Jyotsna Vasan, for their cooperation in the institution of this function. Events like this cannot happen overnight. So as the wheel starts rolling weeks ago and requires planning and bird's eye for detail, Thank you so much, ma'am, for guiding and helping us in giving our best throughout the process. I would like to give my vote of thanking to our program heads, Ms. Ashna and Ms. Sakshi, for guiding us, giving confidence to us, and for making this seminar a great success. I would thank the volunteers, our event heads, Ms. Khushi and Ms. Bipasha, our content head, Ms. Vanshika, our creative head, Ms. Mehak and Ms. Nidhi, and the whole organizing team for their willingness and involvement to take on the completion of the work by beyond their comfort zone. Thank you so much, team. We are also grateful to the entire sponsoring organization, our media partners, Due Vibes, Delhi University Official, Due Unify, Due SSNs, the Due Times Official, Due Times, and Due Official to promote our event on their social media handles. Finally, I thank the wonderful students who have turned up in such great numbers, not only from our department, rather also of other departments of the institution. Thank you so much for your cooperation. We really hope that all the participants have enjoyed today's session. It was fulfilled to them and must be looking forward to the upcoming sessions organized under Cybersecurity League program. Also, our next session on the topic cryptography by Mr. Pratham Sharma is scheduled on 10th October from 12 to 2 p.m. See you all there in the next section and stay connected for this month for learning more amazing things about cybersecurity. Once again, I thank all for your cordial cooperation. Thank you so much. You all can sign off now.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am, once again.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah.
I hope
Thank you
some
so
of
much,
you,
sir.
we will get the Indian code girls from your college, I hope.
Definitely, we hope so, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Take care.
Bye, sir. Take care.
Easy.